The grandmother was horrified to discover her daughter-in-law had brought home two identical granddaughters. She distinctly remembered having only one granddaughter, Alice, who had disappeared after falling into the water a year ago. How could there suddenly be two of them now? The sight terrified her, and she immediately cried out that it must be ghosts. A year earlier, the woman had accidentally let her daughter fall into the water, leading to her disappearance. For an entire year, there had been no trace of her. Yet, instead of blaming her, her husband had comforted her endlessly. Just as they were about to give up hope, the police suddenly called, claiming they had found their daughter. The woman was stunned. How could her missing child still be alive after all this time? She and her husband rushed to the police station, only to freeze in shock the moment they stepped inside. Standing before them were two identical girls. The officer cheerfully told them to take their two lovely daughters home and not lose them again. But the couple was utterly baffled. They knew for a fact they only had one daughter. Now, there were two. To determine which girl was the real Alice, the woman asked them to show their arms. Their daughter had a crescent-shaped birthmark. But to their disbelief, both girls bore the exact same mark. The couple was at a complete loss. The husband suggested taking both girls home, reasoning that since Alice had been raised mostly by her grandmother, she might be able to tell which one was real. But when the grandmother saw them, she recoiled in horror, convinced she was seeing ghosts. The woman quickly steadied her and begged her to identify the real Alice. The old woman insisted her granddaughter had drowned a year ago, these two must be spirits, and demanded they be sent away immediately. Her reaction only deepened the couple's unease. The next day, they took the girls for a DNA test. The results were even more shocking. Both children were biologically theirs. The woman felt a chill crawl down her spine. Stranger still, the girls seemed to possess some kind of magic. Despite the grandmother's initial hostility and attempts to drive them away, the children visited her room one night, and by morning, the old woman was completely changed. She doted on them, calling them her precious treasures. Running out of options, the husband proposed sending both girls to school, hoping their teacher, who had taught Alice for 2 years, might notice something unusual. The woman agreed. When the teacher first saw the twins, she staggered back in fright. After hearing the full story, she slowly calmed down and promised to keep a close watch on them, vowing to report any odd behavior. From that day on, the woman dutifully brought both girls to school. Over time, the teacher began noticing inconsistencies. Then, one morning, as the woman dropped them off, the teacher pulled her aside. The teacher said firmly, "Now I know which one is the real Alice."